Now, what's good, Chaotic Nation? And well, I guess not invisible people today. What's good, Chaotic Nation? It is your boy Chaos here. We are back once again to wrap up Season 5 of the Premier Draft League. Of course, this is just a post-season breakdown of everything going on with the season, just giving you some updates on what has happened, and looking at the final standings and things like that. Of course, I'm not here by myself. I'm joined by our other council members, the one official 2E5.
Hello.
And the one official Image Tortuga.
Hi, I'm Jimmy, and I didn't sleep very well.
Well, like anybody did. But hey, that's what it is. This is how this works. So, a little bit of housekeeping rules before we jump into the stream today. Just keep in mind that we're probably not going to be talking back to the chat. We're going to be typing back. So if you see one of us in the chat typing, that's probably what we're going to be doing. Just because we don't want to make this stream go on for infinity and beyond, because we're just talking to the chat too. So
we've been there, done that.
Yeah, we've had these last for a long time. So welcome in, and let's get started with today's stuff. So, beginning our accolades, we have the best KD in the league, and that is going to be started with the third place, which is from the Hawaii Haunters, and that is Dracovish. Dracovish, again, a big threat in a lot of teams, and used pretty well this season, I'd say. I didn't have any experiences fighting against it, but I do think it was used pretty well by the team it had. If Chewie would like to cover the second place.
In second place, we have Venusaur. From what I've seen, Venusaur did very well. Got a lot of kills. My Discord is crashing. Give me a moment.
Rip.
It is massively crashing right now.
I think he died. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, you good, Jay? You good?
I'm not good. Am I ever good?
Okay. Well, Jimmy, you can take the first place.
I'll take the first place with Sylveon here. Well, Sylveon, first of all, it's shiny is amazing, but no. And Sylveon gets the best kill death ratio. Sylveon obviously getting access to that what is it, hyper voice, and then what is it, pixel plate? That's an ability, right?
Pixelate, yeah.
Pixelate. So Pixelate obviously will make the normal moves into basically fairy moves, which means it gets stab, and then hyper voice, throat spray. I saw a couple of times on the Sylveon, did very, very well, and puts the #1 for best kill to death.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we are moving swiftly on to the next accolade on our list here, which is the most kills. So instead of just looking at the overall, if they did well, kill death and didn't die as much, we're looking at the Pokemon that got the most kills during the season, some of the team staples for a lot of the teams. And I kind of just find it ironic that they're all G-Maxes. But starting off, we have my boy Colossal. I am so proud of him for being on this list at all in any way, shape, or form. Because Colossal is just something I never expected to use super well this season. It's kind of a hard Pokemon to get to run. It just takes a lot of preparation to set it up, and it just, when I got it working, it obviously worked well. So I think it ended up the season with 14 or 13 kills, maybe. I don't remember exactly. 12 kills, sorry.
Hold on.
And ended the season with 12
make sure
kills.
to have sheets up.
I do. That's why I have my laptop next to me.
Oh, pause. Okay.
So it is. It has 12 kills, and that's how it finished the season. Its KD is not the best because it's 2 and 4. It's 2.4 KD, which is not bad, but yeah, it does have 12 kills this season. I'll let Jimmy talk about his pick. So too, you want to take second place?
Yeah. So in second place of the Haunters, we had Al Creamy, or Big Cake. Came in with a very good, respectable 14 kills. Yes, Cake. 14 kills. And to be fair, had quite a good KD ratio, only 5 deaths, so KD ratio of 2.8. Really impressed. I didn't actually think Alcremie was particularly good, but I stand corrected. 14 kills. This is the Gigantamax version of Alcremie. Really good. 14 kills was a big part of the Haunters team this season.
And part of the reason Alcremie is so hard to kill too is that it's bulky. It has a lot of HP, and then of course G-Max Finale heals. So, Cole, I just wanted to say one more thing about Cole. Cole had that one match where it just went burr.
Yeah,
it had that it had that 6 KOs in week 5 versus the Dallas Duraludon. So it just tanked everything. All right, number 1 is the G-Max Lapras on the Herkimer Dreadnoughts, which was my team with a impressive 15 kills. Lapras just was a little unpredictable, more or less towards the beginning. It did do very well in the one playoff match that I did play, but activating that weakness policy and even not activating the weakness policy in some cases is still, the G-Max form is just very, very strong. Setting up the Aurora Veil so you can't kill it quite as fast. So congrats to Lapras.
Our next is the season MVP, and we actually have a 3-way tie for second place, so there is no third place because these are the top 4, I guess. Going back to G-Max Lapras, one of the season MVPs, and all of these Pokemon, I believe, have killed an MVP of 3. They won accolades for 3 matches during the season. So, Lapras, again, as Jimmy was saying, just went really well with the team that Jimmy had built for the Dreadnoughts, and just was the real staple of the team. It's something that you saw every week. I think literally 9 out of 9 weeks that Jimmy played, this thing was here. So you just expected Lapras, and it obviously carried the team a bit for it. So good for that.
Yeah.
Then also in joint second place, we had Primarina of the Wingles. So Primarina did... I've gone completely blank. Primarina got 8 kills, 4 deaths, and was consistent. Well, I've gone completely blank. Appeared in 7 of the weeks it was there, and was obviously not originally part of the team. It was a trade, and in week 1 got Chaos's only kill. But it was always a constant. Like, if you look through the weekly kills, he was regularly getting 1 kill. When in week 8, sorry Jimmy, Primarina popped off and got 3. And was a very valuable asset to Chaos's team.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good trade. I think we'll talk about that a little later. And then the third and final second place winner is the Alolan Ninetales. Very good on the Dallas Duraludons. Coach joking. Had a rough season, but they had a lot of fun, which was really cool. While not exactly the best kill-death ratio, Alolan Ninetales obviously can set up the hail and and set up, even setting up the hail itself, and then that next turn it sets up the Aurora Veil as well, just very similar to Lapras, which is very good. So I imagine a lot of their matches went pretty much just like that, and like I said, it did very well for, as Chaos said, 3 MVPs throughout the season. Only brought 6 times out of the 8 weeks, but
yeah, that's not bad batting average. I don't like 50%.
Mm-hmm.
But also with Alolan Ninetales, it is like the premier hail setter, and it does have a lot of versatility. I've used one in season 2 of this league, and even in singles, it works well. So it's nice to see it coming back into doubles. And of course, it's my boy at number 1. It sadly wasn't drafted on my team, but G-Max Charizard is a great Pokemon. I love Charizard. You guys know that. And I'm a little bit biased here, but I think it was a really good choice for Nico's team, coming off the Sassy Squirtles 4 MVPs out of the 8 matches played. So again, know that 50% of the time it's brought, it does the most damage. It has the most kills on the team by a little bit of a margin here, and definitely was one of the staples for the team. So I guess holding it down and just being one of the assets that Nico used the entire season to kind of anchor the team is always a good thing to have. And you always look for a Pokemon like that when you're building a team. And I think that these 4 Pokemon that we see here are some of the best examples from the season we found so far. All right, Sui, you get the best first round pick.
Yes. So obviously we are a draft league, so there is a first round for the draft, and so this award goes to the best Pokemon from the first round, in which Pokemon we thought performed best. I went for G-Max Lapras, which of the Herkimer Dreadnoughts, coached by Image. I went for Lapras because, as we mentioned earlier, Lapras was a staple of the team, as appearing regularly most valuable Pokemon, but also I think was the highest kill, got the highest kills in the league. But if you look through Jimmy's battles, Lapras was regularly getting 3 kills. In week 1, week 3, got 3 kills. But it was also consistent again, 2 or 1. It was consistent, it was always there, and was a major staple of the team. So I think that's all you can ask for in a first round pick.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, I also chose G-Max Lapras as the first round pick. Pretty much aligned very well with what Tui said. Lapras came every single week. It was used all nine of my matches. Was the only Mon in the postseason to get any kills, which is what actually brought it up to its 15, which was really, really good. But it was just a staple. Again, it's like everybody was worried about that G-Max Lapras. Now, towards the end of the season, they figured out how to. I got a little too predictable, and it was one shot twice in 3 weeks. Yeah, I think 3 weeks, which was unfortunate, but it was still a good again setting up that Aurora Veil in turn 1 Gigantamaxing. It was a solid first pick.
I do agree. I like Lapras in that spot. I think Lapras did really well. I think you covered the main thing that I was going to say about it, which is just became too predictable.
Yep.
I mean, you have to only watch the last couple battles Jimmy had to understand that. But that also goes down to some other things just with time with you, and I know you're very busy, and so you banked on what worked, and hey, sometimes that happens.
Well, we said early on too. It's like, why fix what's not broken? And it was working.
True.
So
true. But I went with we don't have the G-Max Venusaur sprite, so I'm sorry, I have regular Venusaur. So I went with Venusaur. I just thought one of the things we haven't talked about yet with the league is the Sun team with Coach Nate and the Heliotails, and I thought this Venusaur was such a good grab off the bat. He full-sended the Sun team off the get-go. And this Venusaur is not bad. 5 KD, 10 kills, 2 deaths this season, 2 MVPs on the team. So Venusaur did a lot of work with that team, and I think one of my biggest problems when I fought Nate was trying to get around this Venusaur, and I really tried to work for it. Fortunately, as you saw in week 7, that didn't work well, but this was one of the biggest issues, and I think everybody who fought Venusaur realized that it was a problem. So it's just something you always had to have in the back of your mind when you were prepping for this team, and every single Pokemon had to be useful against this thing, in my opinion. And I just see Venusaur always being a scary threat in any league it's a part of, mostly because it has the ability to be a chlorophyll user, but it also can be a super defensive tank too, and pretty much is just an unkillable wall. So always don't like to see Venusaur on somebody else's team because it is a big pain in the butt. But I think it was used well this season, and I think that's why it's the best pick for me. Also, I had to be different because I wasn't picking Lapras too.
Big pain in the butt because it goes big in G-Max. Haha. It was fun.
That too.
Yeah, I mean it got when it got big. I mean, like legit. I mean, jokes aside, when it got to its Gigantamax form, it was scary. And especially, like you said, if once it gets that chlorophyll in the sun, it was easily the fastest thing on the field.
Good. Jimmy, you want to start us with trades?
So the next category is up for best trade. As well as this being, we've all been a bit boring here, haven't we? As well as it being a draft, coaches can change their team in between matches by trading with other coaches and free agency. So in pre-season, Chaos traded Stabili for Primarina. And as Primarina did amazing for Chaos, got a KD ratio of 2, was the most valuable Pokemon 3 times. I think came every week it was eligible, or may have missed 1 week.
All but one.
All but one. So consistent, a core part of the team. 8 kills, you know, to say it wasn't even drafted to this team, I think it went very well.
And I think with Primarina, as you can see, we all picked Primarina. So much for being different, right, Chaos?
Hey, I picked it first, so...
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But it's like with Primarina as well, it's like another reason why this is one of the best trades. I mean, not that you did it super, super often, but I saw at least in one match, maybe it was week 5, I think, where you Aqua Jetted into the Colossal.
Yep.
That activates its weakness policy and its steam engine.
Yep.
You know, so that's why Colossal went burst, so... Primarina was definitely a staple in that. But obviously, still a really good mon. Water Fairy also has access to the Hyper Voice. Not quite. I don't think it's quite as strong as Sylveon because it doesn't get the stab with the Hyper Voice, but it does.
Liquid Voice changes it to Water Moves.
Oh, right. Liquid Voice. Okay, so I stand corrected. I forgot about Liquid Voice. Yeah, so 100%. You could also run the Primarina with Throat Spray. I don't know if you did that at all this season, but
no. I didn't have a chance to.
Yeah. So, yeah, very, very solid pick.
I probably should talk about this. Honestly, the whole point of Primarina was drafting it for Aqua Jet and to go into Colossal, and I'm sure everybody saw that. But my whole point with finding an Aqua Jet user so late in the draft, I don't think I actually got this trade completed until like halfway through or a little after that. The whole point of finding an Aqua Jet user for me is I wanted it to be useful outside of Colossal, something else that could work on the side, and Primarina just did that. I think Water and Fairy 2 is the best offensive typings in the game, but paired alongside common other staples that you guys are well aware of. But just the idea that I had an offensive fairy type, which I needed until I saw everybody having a bunch of prankster Pokemon that were dark types that I needed to deal with. So having offensive fairy type really worked well. And as Jimmy said, yeah, it was primarily brought for Aqua Jet into Colossal to do that strategy. But I had a couple weeks where I thought I had a vendetta to make Primarina work outside of that strategy. And I mean, I brought Primarina the most all but 1 week, and every week it didn't come, I lost. So just that just goes to show you how good it is. Of course, that's not saying much when I win half the battles I did. Yeah, but Primarina, the thing about it is, a starter Pokemon have such a good versatility if you have the right one. In Primarina, the thing you sacrifice is speed. It was one of the lowest speed stats on my, well, one of the lowest speed stats on my team, I guess. It's still fair. But you could build it in a couple different ways. You could build it more defensive. You could build it more offensive if you wanted to. There were weeks I brought it as an offensive Pokemon. There was a week I threw a Choice Scarf on it and used Flip Turn instead of used Aqua Jet. I mean, there are things like that have happened. So Primarina I just thought was versatile, and I couldn't think of any other trade that really mattered. I mean, it makes sense that I would win this category with my team because the trade document on your sheet, mine's filled out because I have traded, I think we did 7 trades this season, pretty much every week but week 1, 3, and 8. So
Yeah.
I did a lot of trades this season, and I was just not happy with my team. So I didn't see anything else that worked just quite as well as Primarina. Sure, there were some other good trades down the road. I mean, the Milotic for the Mew was a good thing on Jimmy's team. Getting rid of the Gengar was good for the Squirtles, mostly because I got to pick up Gengar. I thought Sableye was fine, and G-Max Corviknight was a fine trade. But, you know, I don't see anything that works just quite as well as Primarina did. So, that's what I had to say about it.
So the next category is the award for the best match of the season. So each of us picked our favourite match. So I went for Week 8, which was between the Detroit Red Wingles and the Herkimer Dreadnoughts.
I disagree with this.
I wonder why you disagree with this.
I disagree with this too, so.
Shut up. Don't disagree with me.
Alright.
I mean, make your point. Make your point. Just go.
So what I was going to say is I liked it. Was it the best battle technically? Probably not. In fact, you two would say that. But what I did like is the progression of the season. It showed progression. Because if we go to week 1, sorry, Chaos to bring this up, but you got battered, like royally smashed. And it was good to see, you know. And it shows how you can change a team by using the trade and free agency well. Because at the end, the tables had turned. Jimmy was the one getting
The turntables have tabled.
Yes, that's why I liked it. Was it the best technical match? No, but it surprised the hell out of me, and that's what I like. Also, I think this is one of the weeks Lapras got bodied, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I always appreciate that.
It wasn't exactly one shot. It was
3-shot. It was 3-shot. Thanks,
yeah, it was 3-shot because Mach Punch went into that. But Chaos adapted very, very well to the strategies and whatnot. And part of the reason that match wasn't all that great on my end is I wanted to try something a little new with Indeedee and Mew. With the Psychic Surge and just spam Expanding Force. However, I forgot about Rillaboom and the grassy terrain, so that just fact me.
Yeah, I do agree with some of what Tui said with it shows the change and that a team can be different. I mean, week 1 I had 3 Mons that aren't even on my team anymore. So I had to really change my team, and I was just a big dum-dum and didn't realize that Rillaboom just kind of wops the team, and Jamie wasn't ready for it. That was the match in TDL. Jimmy wasn't ready for Rillaboom game set match.
Yeah, that was long short of it.
Yeah, so I think it was a good match. Was it the best? I mean, I have my own thoughts about that, but I'll let Jimmy talk about his.
Yeah, no, the semi-final match versus the Herkimer Dreadnoughts and Hawaii Haunters was my favorite out of all of them. It's also hard to pick the best match because not everybody is able to record. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, we see it on paper, but it's like, so these are just the ones that we were able to see versus the recording and stuff like that. But even though the Hawaii Haunters beat me 0-3, it was a lot closer. It was a lot closer than that because I think all 3 of the Mons, if I remember correctly, were of the remaining Mons on Hawaii Haunter side was in the yellow, if I remember correctly. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but if not, definitely 2 of the 3. It was just an intense battle from the start. I think I made a misplay or 2, and that's what sealed the deal. But it was just an intense match, and it was thoroughly enjoyed.
I would say that Jimmy, that match was really just teetered on that Umbreon just sitting there for way too long.
Yeah, the Umbreon. I was not as ready for the Umbreon as I thought. Yeah. I think I attacked the other Mon, whatever was on the field at the time, and I should have attacked the Umbreon at that point. Not saying that it would have went down, but it would have been down health, if that makes sense.
It does make a bit of a problem when you put it next to a G-Max Alchemy that can heal it. Yeah. So that wasn't very helpful for you. But I do think it was a solid match, to say the least. Not much else I have really to add. Jimmy kind of covered everything that I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. Then James. Our resident Mr. Chatman, Mr. Clackety Clack.
Clap.
Wait, was that muted?
Yes, you were.
Have you spoken about your week 6 match?
No, we're talking about week 8. Pay attention.
We're walking about the semi.
Good councilmen are hard to find, chat.
Sorry, I was my mother texted me and I was responding to that. So the semi, part of me was gutted because I wanted to see Jimmy do well. But at the end of the day, Jimmy is right. It was a hell of a lot closer than that 3-0 scoreline suggests. When you look at 3-0, you look at that and go, he's been pasted a bit. But actually, Jimmy covered it very well. It was very tight. They were all in the yellow. I think one was even in the red, if I remember correctly from watching it.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a very tight match, and you know what? Credit to Hornets, he played that really well, and well played.
Well, I guess we go on to the match I said that was the best, which is Week 6. Detroit Red Wings versus the Edmonton Excadrillos. So, me versus Buns. And I said this in the battle. I think that was the best match that was, like, hands down at the time. I'm like, I don't think there's a better match this season. It was played expertly by both coaches. It was, if I remember correctly, and if I'm looking at the sheets to confirm this, it was a 2-0, one of our closest margins. And as Chewy was saying, you know, if you look at 3-0 and you're like, oh crap, they just got bodied. Now, with doubles, it's a little bit more difficult to have a lower differential. And so the really close matches are the ones that are like 1-0 and 2-0. But this match was just incredible. I think I think both of us were unprepared for the other person's strategy, and it was just a true test of our battling skills. I think because we were playing off the fly, trying to predict what the other person was going to be doing. There's a lot of things that really just went the other person's way in that match, and honestly, I just think it was a hard match for me to see anything better than just this season. I don't think there was something that was better. I mean, sure, there might be something closer, like a 1-0 season, week 1. I know Edmonton Excadrillos and Dallas Duraludons had a 1-0, and there are a few 2-0s in there, but still, I experienced this match firsthand, and that might be a little bit of a bias for me, but that's just my thought on it.
And that's why I was saying it's like if we could figure out a way to make it so others can record and whatnot, because I would have really loved to see the week 1 match versus Edmonton Excadrillos and Dallas Duraludons. That 1-0, it's like you don't see that very often in doubles. You really don't. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I remember watching it for the first time, and I was on the edge of my seat thinking how it was going to go. It was very close. Colossal played really well, actually.
No, as well as I wanted him to, but hey.
He got 3 kills, mate. You would. Yeah.
He was supposed to 6 kills.
Durant. Oh, I'll go back-to-back weeks with 6 kills.
I mean, my whole strategy was set up and win.
Yeah.
Did not work.
No, but yeah, no. I remember watching that match, and you were like on the edge of your seat, and you were so happy that you won. So well done. That was that was your closest. Yeah, that was your closest win.
Yeah, I think I was coming off a pretty bad loss.
No?
Just straight. I know I had a win the week before, but that was just not even close. So I mean, it was nice. I was down. That was the turning point for me in the season, I think, too, and that's why I think it's such a good match for me. Was because I just had lost in massive fashion so a lot of the time before that, and then that match flipped it to be something like, oh hey, I actually can win and I have a shot at playoffs, so let's keep going. I mean, we lost next week in the same fashion, but hey, whatever. It happens.
It happens.
You
didn't get 6-0.
Ask in S2 if it happens.
Nico got 6-0'd as well, thank you very much.
Yeah, Nico got 6-0'd. Dracovish went ham that week.
Yeah. Happens to the best.
Yeah, those are the best matches.
So we have our final standings this season in 8th place with the 1-7 record is Dallas Duraludons. The Edmonton Excadrillos are basically tied. They have the same differential, the same win-loss record. There is an asterisk in that because unfortunately the Excadrillos had to stop participating that week, the final week, and so it was kind of a given.
2 weeks, if I remember correctly.
The final 2 weeks. That was a given win to the Duraludons, which made them tie. So they're kind of in the same spot. Just what it is. And I think I put the Excadrillos higher just because of the one match they did play. That's how it turned out. We have the Sassy Squirtles, who are sitting at 3-5 on the season in 6th place. Very well off the beginning of the season, and just unfortunately couldn't turn it around and get enough wins. Speaking of people who couldn't get enough wins, it's your boy. I'm upset about this, but I'm in 5th, barely out of playoffs. Literally a win somewhere in the season clinched it. So just I'm still a little bit salty about that and not happy about it, but it happens. And you know, I'm glad I got 4-4. That was my whole purpose by the end of the season. It was just go even, do as best you can, and we regroup next year when we're playing in singles. We have 4th place of Lunar Mountain Lake Rocks. Had a good start to the season. Unfortunately, just couldn't get anywhere in playoffs. Had a rough week 1 match. Had a rough semi match. And just had 2 massive losses in the middle of the season that just caused some issues.
Yeah.
Just
but played well overall. This is their first draft league, as it was with the Sassy Squirtle. Actually, a good portion of these guys.
I think the only people who had played before were the Dreadnoughts, the Wingles, and the Excadrills.
Maybe the Gila Tails.
I don't know though.
I don't know. But yeah, it's like, so played very, very well in their first draft league, making the playoffs. So very kudos to the Lunar Mountain Lake and Rocks.
All right, we got the top 3. 2, you got to talk about 2. I'll let you do 3.
So in 3rd place, we have the one and only with a 6-3 record, Okamore Dreadnoughts, coached by the Image Tortuga. I was really impressed with how Jimmy did this season. The start of the season amazingly, and I was genuinely concerned he was going to go the season unbeaten, which is not something I want to see. I want to see everyone take an L. Had a bit of a rough ending, and then obviously rough sitting in playoffs, but it was close. I was really impressed. To be honest, I knew Jimmy was good, but I was amazed when I watched week 1 and I saw him body chaos. I did not see that one coming, and then was consistently amazing. And then week 6, it just went a bit wrong. It fell apart a bit. But I think you had a very good season. And you should be very proud of how you battled.
Yeah, I am. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I just became too predictable towards the end. I tried to change it up a little bit with the Hawaii Haunters, but I wasn't as ready. With the semifinals, I wasn't as ready as I thought with the Umbreon, so womp womp.
I do think you got to remember that the Dreadnoughts were number 1 in the polls until I think until week 8, I believe.
I think
until the last week. Sorry, but but yeah, Jimmy just kind of led the league the entire season and was one of the undefeated teams for the longest time. And just unfortunately, people started to figure out the strategy later on, and that just kind of shut things down. You get number 2, sir.
All right. Well, the Heliotails, how do you even pronounce it? I'm sorry.
Heliotails.
Finishing the season with only 2 losses. The number 6 team, Sassy Squirtles, actually beat the Heliotails. Let me look at which week that was. That was week 5. I think an unfortunate wake up is what hurt them that week, and that's where Gmax Charizard just went ham and whatnot. And then of course the loss in the finals, probably the most important match. But Nate, always right on my tail, but played very, very well. That Sun team was very hard to prep for, and he just bodied the whole league. I mean, even beating the Hawaii Haunters twice in the regular season. But 3rd time's the charm, so that was really good. Only reason 2nd place is that loss in the finals, because obviously 8-2 should technically be 1st, but because of the loss in the finals, which is the match that makes the most sense.
Makes the champion, man.
Yep.
And your season 5 Premier Draft League champions are Gentleman Haunter and the Hawaii Haunters. Congratulations, Haunter. You played really well this season, and I'm very happy. I think this was your first draft league. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for a first draft league and winning a season against people that I know who are great battlers, and we had a lot of really good battlers this season. I don't think anybody had a really, we're really inexperienced. I mean, sure, some people weren't as experienced as others, but, when you're starting out, you have to start somewhere. And I think this season just showed that, somebody who maybe not have as much experience as everybody else can win. And some people, we're not untouchable. You can beat everybody.
Their first ever draft league.
Oh damn, pretty well.
Yeah, just a good team. again, banking off that Alcremie as a nice G-Max Pokemon, 14 kills this season. Anchor of the team, used the entire week. I would have liked to see Gigalith used, but hey, that's just my thing.
Just you, mate.
That's just me. I just had a really good team. Yeah.
Gigalith was a mind game. I talked a little bit to Haunter last night. Gigalith was a mind game for the sand portion of the team. What was the rest?
Excadrill.
Excadrill was on there, so it was a kind of a sand, kind of a mind game for Nate. And Haunter has informed me that they didn't even bring Gigalith or Excadrill in the finals, which was really good. Had a little bit more of a trick up their sleeve, and it worked.
Yeah, it was a great team. He built the team up and he turned it when it mattered. Can't put it past him for a first season in Draft League to go and win it all. Can't do much more than that. But was also consistent throughout the season. Only had 2 blips to the Heliotales, and then obviously lost to Jimmy in week 3. Other than that, was consistent 6-0 for Squirtle, 5-0 for Lycanrocs. You look at that and go...
Those 2 is what really helped, was the 5-0 and the 6-0, which really jumped their differential up.
Yeah,
really
when you've only lost to the 2 teams that were undefeated the entire season, practically, like, that's not a bad rap, and that's just a nice third to get in. Like,
and
very
then
easy
in
to secure.
the playoffs, you beat both teams that were quote unquote undefeated most of the season.
Yeah, did pretty well.
Yeah,
and
so
interesting matchup, definitely.
Big congrats. Chat just said Alcremie was the last draft pick for Hawaii Haunters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a last pick that is.
A lot of people, I think, after the first round G-Max grab fest, just didn't want your G-Max Pokemon and weren't planning on that as a strategy. So, I mean, I definitely wasn't planning on it, and I'm sure a lot of other people didn't either. And talking to the other, I think it was the Hawaii Haunters and the Lunar Mountain Lycanrocs, both of those picks kind of just came near the end of the draft, or even in a first week or so.
Yeah, within the first week or so, yeah.
So, just a change.
But big congratulations to the Hawaii Haunters. Big congratulations. Clap, clap.
Massive congratulations.
It was a pleasure. Thanks to everybody who has supported the league and this season of PDL. I really do appreciate it. Of course, there may or may not be a Season 6. We'll let you know. So if you want more information on that, I would recommend making sure you're connecting with me on social medias like Twitter, joining my Discord server, because I will keep you up to date. I run this thing, so of course I'm going to be the one who's going to have the information about it. So make sure you look at those places. I'll let you guys know, and of course, if you are in the Season 5 Discord, I will post a link to Season 6 when it does pop up. So just know that if we decide to do Season 6, there's a big if there. Not sure the future of the league. I definitely want to do more draft leagues down the road. Just not sure how long it will be before we do Season 6. Currently not planned in the works, and usually we have Season 6, the next season, ready to go pretty soon after this is over. But nothing there yet, and you just have to stay tuned for more content for this. Of course, if you're not already checking out my 2 wonderful co-hosts, go check it out. Yimish Tortuga and 2E5, more 2E5 and 2E5 blogs. As well as all 3 of us work on a channel together that is in the description down below. If you want to check out the Invisible Corporations, you can check out all 3 of us doing our own things and working together and more stuff like that. But thanks, Dave. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Dave.
Special shout out to Dave for being an awesome person.
Yeah, that needs to be you, Dave.
But yeah,
I want to thank. I also want to also say a big thank you to Chaos for hosting and running the league. I know it's I know it's a big responsibility. It's a lot of work on your back end, the graphics, the sheets, getting everything ready on the back end. So a big shout out to you, my friend. Well done.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I prefer for next season, because I got a lot of work to do if I want to even get there. We got a lot of changes to make.
We'll talk. Again, we're not going to promise anything, but we'll talk.
There will be a draft league at some point. just keep that in mind. Maybe not me, and it might be just watching me, and I might have information about stuff, but yeah, that would be it.
All right.
It's crazy to see another season go. It's even more crazy that this is my first not championship, and I'm okay with it. I think the teams that got to the playoffs were good teams, and they all beat me, so I can't say anything about it. So I'm very proud of that. I mean, literally the 4 teams that beat me are the 4 teams that made playoffs.
Yeah.
So, but big thanks to everyone who participated in the league, all the coaches, all of the behind the scenes work. Council members couldn't do it without you guys. As per usual, like Jimmy said, big shout outs to Chaos for all the dumb stuff that goes to make this league work, and the nightmares I've had about doing it. But it's fine. It works out. So you guys don't see all the aspects of it. There is organization. There is figuring out what Pokemon are in which tier, going through that, doing all that suspect testing. There is creating logos, creating the identity of the league if we're doing, if we're doing different groups or I guess divisions, or getting people interested in the league, promoting it. There's just so much that goes into making a league like this, and it's crazy, and I wouldn't be able to do it if you guys didn't, make it fun every time. So I really do appreciate that. I don't think Tui said anything yet, so I'll let him talk before I wrap it up.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for competitors, to Jimmy and Chaos for a fantastic season. Some very good battling skills on show. Once again, massive congratulations to Haunter. And yeah, big well done to Chaos for all the organising, because I know you do not enjoy it at times.
No.
So yeah, well done everyone. Thank you very much for a great season 5, which I'm going to say, like Dave, is the best PDL we've ever done.
Debatable, but okay.
Just because
I didn't win.
Just because you didn't win. Just because we did doubles.
And for one last time, I will give you guys a nice party.
Update your sheets!
Update your sheets.
Update your sheets.
Oh, goodness.
Can we get a signature, the one that you did last season, draft your needs before you get what you want, or whatever it was?
You draft your needs before you draft your fillers.
There you go.
Oh, okay. That's some good advice.
I put it on merchandise.
You can go to teespring.com/official2e5 and pick them.
Not sold anymore.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
It's not sold anymore.
That is a good point to mention. And we do have a store. If you want to go to the store, all proceeds for PDL stuff goes to the next season, whenever it happens, and or another league that we can get like some kind of award for the champion, whether that be just a cash or more like a gift card or something, or whether it's in a full-blown, here's a trophy, have fun.
Could we get like a championship belt made?
Yeah, that's what I was
Championship Cummerbund, as like they say in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Alright. Well, anything else from you two before I hit the end stream button?
Toodaloo.
Just again, a big thank you to you as well. I definitely had a lot of influence to make it a doubles league this year.
Yeah, thanks,
as
Jimmy.
well as the very first one within an actual game instead of Showdown, as I understand it. So,
yes, sir.
Again, a big thank you to Chaos for letting us do that. So,
Never again.
I think it was worth. I think it was worth putting it in the game. Because the battles are a lot more fun to watch if you're making content for it. And of course, my main goal as a content creator is to create content. I personally don't like watching Showdown as much in terms of battles. The animations are just better in the game, in my opinion. So, big thank you, Chaos. Big thank you.
Big thanks to Jimmy for making me hate this season a lot. Because I'm not a doubles battler, and I don't like Gigantamax and Dynamax. So I guess, I pushed my limits, so thanks. I blame Jimmy for everything. It's great. He accepts it.
I will happily take it.
Yeah. It was still fun at the end of the day, so I'm not complaining too much. Just like to joke around with it. Again, we will see you guys for some more PDL, or maybe under a new name next season. We might have a rebrand. You never know. But I do really appreciate everybody, the coaches, the council, and especially you guys, and who are in the chat, who have watched the battles and supported our coaches and creators. It takes a lot of time, not just for me, but for everybody who participated in the league to, build their teams and prepare battles and schedule things and be willing to help. So the sacrifices you guys have made do not go unnoticed, and I really appreciate you guys making this work. Just make sure you update your sheets next time. And that's all I really have for you. So for us here at the PDL, we will see you guys very soon for hopefully some more stuff. But very soon might be a little bit. It might not be very soon. It might be soon. It's soon. Let's say soon. Soon.tm. And again, I do appreciate Jimmy and Tui joining me here for this. They are contracted to do this, so they will be getting a nice hearty check in the mail for this.
Yes.
And by check in the mail, I mean it's a giant middle finger that says thanks for helping.
Oh. Duh.
I was actually hoping it was gonna be like a check mark.
Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah.
It might be what it is.
Can I get that instead?
Yes, sir. On the way. Just ignore the first one.
It's already in place.
One.
But again, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Next season, we'll let you know. Stay tuned for more. And that's all we got for you. So until next time, my name is Chaos. His name is Tui. His name is Jimmy. And we will see you next time. So, till then, stay safe. And as always,